Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor with another edition of my Trumpology report. And yesterday, France elected a new president. Vive la France! Emmanuel Macron is now the president of France, and I thought it might be interesting to take a look at his chart, since France has always been an ally of the United States. And let's see how Trump and Macron are going to get along together or not. Okay, first of all, let me show you Macron's birth chart. Oh, by the way, before I do that, sorry, cliffhanger. Let me give you his birth data. It is December 21st, 1977 at 10:40 a.m. at Amiens, France. A-M-I-E-N-S. Listen, if you do not have a program that can generate a birth chart, I will be happy to send you the birth chart of anyone I have read on the Trumpology report. I do not have birth times for many of the people I've looked at with you. I only have their solar chart. However, I will send you their solar chart. All you have to do is go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. I will send you Trump's chart. I will send you Macron's chart. This is a AA, Lois Rodden, verified birth time. So we know it's accurate. If you would like your own birth chart, now this is the actual chart itself. It's not an interpretation. It is the chart itself. All I need is your month, day, and year of birth, the city and state where you were born. If you're born out of the United States, the city and country, of course, and the exact time that you were born, or as close to it as you can get. And I will email you a copy of your birth chart, okay? So now, cliffhanger. Let's talk about Emmanuel Macron. First of all, the first thing that caught my eye was that he has this beautiful 11th house stellium. His sun, this is the sun, the center of our solar system, is in 29 degrees of Sag, and so is his Mercury, even though it's retrograde. The 29th degree of any sign is considered a critical degree because it is the finishing up lesson in this incarnation of perhaps something that was begun before, not even perhaps. I mean, I wasn't there, I don't know. However, 29 degrees of a sign means you're finishing up the lesson. Now, if you will notice, he has a 29-degree Scorpio midheaven as well, and a 28-49 Capricorn ascendant. He's got a 14-degree Taurus moon, by the way. So this is a very important lifetime for him, and he won the election. So with the strong, I'm going to jump into the 11th house because I always just go where my eye leads me. And the beauty of the chart is it's a circle. So you can start anywhere you like. He is a disguised Aquarian because he's got 3 planets in his 11th house. So he marches to his own drumbeat, and as a Sagittarian with a sun combust Mercury, the conscious mind, he is focused on his ideals, his beliefs, his principles in this lifetime, and he deals with his for the masses. He works for the people. Now, Trump has a strong 11th house as well. However, his sun is in the 10th house, so there's quite a bit of difference there. Okay, the center of Trump's life is his career and his image. The center of Macron's life is the people. Now, fortunately, of course, Trump does have 11th house planets, which brings in that Uranian, Aquarian feel as well. But getting back to Emmanuel Macron, he has Venus, the planet of love, and wherever Venus is, that's what you love. He loves le peuple, the people. His sun is conjunct Venus, and so he is a loving person. We know this from his personal history, his personal marriage history, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with. His long-lasting love with his wife. And so we have a person who thinks, Mercury, about the people of humanity, thinks about being a friend. The sun, the center of his life, is being a friend. And Venus, he loves being a friend. He loves the people. And all three of these planets are in Truth and Freedom Sagittarius. Wow, how beautiful. Capricorn ascendant says he is very traditional in many ways. He's a hard worker, and he takes himself seriously. Now, this is a very simplified interpretation that I'm giving you, so hang in there with me on this, okay? That's why I said I'll send you the chart, and you can look at it and interpret it your way. Now, he has his south node in the second house, which means he has his north node in the eighth. Okay. The south node is that area which we have mastered in past lives and to which we are instinctively drawn. So his own finances may or may not be where he wants to put his attention. If he puts his attention on his own finances, he will find that they are drained to a certain degree. But if he will put his attention on other people's money, in other words, the money of the people, of everybody, he can balance these two and create more income. The moon in his third house, the moon is what we are instinctively drawn to. It's mommy's message. It's where she tells us to look for our emotional fulfillment and security. It's in the third house of self-expression. So even as a youngster, because this is the early environment, he was drawn to expressing himself, and as a Taurus moon, very practically, very logically. He has Jupiter. Again, I apologize for my handwriting, I know. Jupiter in the fifth house of children and fun and gambling and creativity. And so he does know how to have fun, which is awesome. Now look at this powerful seventh house. I hope you can see it. First of all, he has Mars in 11 Leo. Wherever Mars is, that's what we throw ourselves into. That's what comes first to us. And his one-on-one relationships come first to him. Now, this is the house of partnerships. It's our open enemy, so to speak. And that's what the seventh house deals with, relationships on a one-on-one level. And so he throws himself into them, and he attracts people who tend to put themselves first. So he can become embroiled in arguments with other people. He has Saturn, the planet of responsibility and sometimes restriction, in his seventh house. His wife is a good bit older than he is, that's Saturn right there. And he, as many people with a strong 11th house or a strong Aquarius, if you've got your sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius, or if you've got a strong 11th house or a powerful Uranus, if you have Saturn in the seventh, other people hold you back. They hold you down. They force you to deal realistically with them. That's what he's got going for himself. And the vertex, your karmic role with other people, that's in his seventh house as well. And so his one-on-one relationships are very much involved in his role, karmic role in this lifetime. Now, the eighth house of secrets and transformation. We already talked about the fact that he can make magic. The eighth house is the house of magic, but the eighth house can help other people with their resources, and the north node there is really powerful. It is conjunct Pluto. Pluto rules the eighth house in the natural zodiac. Forgot to mention that the seventh house is traditionally the house of Libra, and so there is a certain charm that he also expresses in his one-on-one relationships. The eighth house is traditionally ruled by Scorpio. This is control. It's all or nothing. And with the ruler of Scorpio, now he's got Virgo on that cusp, but we go back to the natural zodiac. With Pluto in that house, power is very important to him. It's all or nothing. And this is the lifetime in which he decided he was going to work through control, whether being controlled or doing the controlling. And whatever's in the eighth house is going to be transformed in this lifetime. So that's what he's dealing with now. Uranus in the ninth house. Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the one that says, I'm busting loose. In the ninth house of your belief systems, this is a man, a humanitarian, but he's way ahead of a lot of his colleagues, his peers. And there is a rebellious note to his policies. And then, once again, that Scorpio, 29-degree Scorpio midheaven. Wow. Power in this lifetime, in his career. Neptune, the final planet, is conjunct the sun, is conjunct Venus, which is conjunct the sun, which is conjunct Mercury. Now, Neptune is the idealist. Neptune is the dreamer. And conjunct Venus, he is a romantic. Yes, it is in his 10th house, but it's behind the 11th cusp. And so he has great ideals for the people, great dreams. And we know that he is madly in love with his wife. And so they have quite a romance going. Okay, that's his chart. Now, let's talk about, let me get all my charts organized here. Let's talk about just hang in there, guys. I've got so many charts here. Let's talk about Donald Trump's chart and what Emmanuel Macron triggers in him, okay? In his chart. And then we'll do the reverse. All right. This does not want to stay, so I'm going to do Emmanuel Macron first and what Trump triggers in him. If it's not holding place, there's my sign. That may be a little woo-woo for some of you, but I always watch the signs. Okay, so look at here. Isn't this fascinating? Macron's planets are inside and Trump's planets are outside. There is a great deal of contact between the two charts. I want to mention, for those of you who study astrology, there is a strong Moon-Pluto square from chart to chart, which means that there is a very strong power and control situation going on. It may not be overt, but it is going on. And let's talk about the chart then. Returning to Emmanuel Macron's birth chart, Trump's South Node and Moon sit on his 11th house planets. Now, the South Node is the tie from the past, meaning past lives. The Moon also deals with the past. However, the Moon can be certainly an emotional planet. It deals with the subconscious mind, and the Moon is changeable and flexible. And so what we see here is there is a Sun-Moon conjunction. There is a Moon-Venus conjunction. There is a Moon-Neptune conjunction and a Moon-Mercury conjunction between their charts. This can prove to be very helpful in relationships. A conjunction is variable. It is the most powerful aspect, the most powerful aspect we can have. I always say conjunctions tell the tale. Because a conjunction is two planets sitting right smack dab on top of each other. But a Sun-Moon conjunction indicates an identification with the other person. And with Venus and Neptune thrown in, there can be a certain amount of wishful thinking, but devotion, love, friendship. That's what we got going here from Trump's chart to Emmanuel Macron. Trump's vertex sits on Macron's ascendant. Now, it's in the 12th house. And so the karmic role that Macron has in this lifetime influences, the karmic role that Trump has, so many things going on here, in this lifetime influences Macron personally, another personal contact. Trump's midheaven is sitting in Macron's 3rd house, but it's on his IC. When you have an IC-MC conjunction within about 10 degrees even, there is a powerful connection. Again, who's going to be the leader when the midheaven is down at the bottom? This is Trump's authority down here at the bottom. It will be the reverse in Macron's chart. And so there is a balance, a strategic balance. Now look at this 5th house. Trump's Uranus, North Node, Sun, and Mercury are in Macron's fifth house of children, fifth house of education, of gambling, of fun. And there is a Sun-Jupiter conjunction from Trump to Macron, and there is a Mercury conjunction to Macron's Jupiter. A Sun-Jupiter conjunction is friendship. They like each other on whatever level that will take place. Now, it's a disassociate conjunction, I get it, but it's still a conjunction. And this is very helpful for them enjoying each other's company. We want that. We want our leaders enjoying each other's company. Okay, Trump, Saturn, and Venus sit in Macron's sixth house. Saturn is responsibility. Venus is friendship and love and money. And this can help Macron in his daily activities, his job, his work. Look at this seventh house. It's a powerhouse, isn't it? Trump's Pluto, control, sits on Macron's Mars. Now there's going to be a flip when we reverse the charts. And so on some level, Trump may squelch or control the passion that Macron feels. However, Trump's Mars and ascendant are sitting on Macron's Saturn and vertex. Mars-Saturn is a very powerful, it's a power play. In other words, Trump triggers Macron's need to be in a position of authority with other people. And the ascendant on the vertex, again, another very powerful conjunction. Trump's Neptune and Jupiter sit on Macron's North Node and Pluto. And he can then help bring about the possibility of Macron creating money for the people, for his country. Jupiter on Pluto, Jupiter expands. And so there is an expansion of Macron's desire for control. And keep in mind, again, that there is a Moon-Pluto square from chart to chart. And there is a Mars-Pluto square as well. I've got my notes on that somewhere. What this tells us, here we go. Trump's Pluto squares Macron's Moon. Trump's Pluto is conjunct Macron's Mars. This is very, very, it's a power play. Who's going to be in control? That's not really a surprise, is it? It's politics. Okay, now let's see if this will hold. Trump and Macron, what Macron triggers in Trump's chart. Look at there, it held. I love it. I love it. Okay. The inner planets are Trump's. The outer planets are Macron's. Now, here you've got the Moon-Pluto square. You've got the Mars-Pluto conjunction. Let me start here with Trump's Sun. Macron's Jupiter, friendship, lights up Trump's Sun, which means he can enhance Trump's public image because Trump's Sun is in the 10th house. Trump's Mercury is in the 11th. Trump has 3 planets in his 11th. Macron has 3 planets in his 11th. And Neptune, of course, is right there on the edge of the 11th cusp. So they are the humanitarianism, the friendship from that outlook that both leaders have can be very helpful on a large scale if they will use it. Okay, Macron's Jupiter on Trump's Mercury expands Trump's thinking, his communication, excuse me, and this can be very, very helpful as friends. Now, Macron's Mars, wherever the Mars is, it's powerful, sits on Trump's Pluto, and in this really triggers Trump's need to be in control. Macron's Saturn sits on Trump's ascendant, squelching some of his energy. His vertex sits on Trump's ascendant, and also let us not forget that Saturn sits on Trump's ascendant, and his Mars holds it down. Vertex, ascendant in Mars. It's a powerful relationship, a karmic relationship, obviously, from past lives, but Saturn is the authority. And so with Macron's Saturn on Trump's ascendant, in this case, Macron is the authority, and that will not sit well with Trump. Okay, Macron's North Node and Pluto sit on Trump's Jupiter. While the North Node can be very helpful to Trump from a financial standpoint, Pluto will control it and possibly transform it. Macron's Uranus in Trump's third house gives him all kinds of unique, rebellious ideas. I would say Trump really doesn't need any help in that direction, in that department, but it will enhance it. Now look at this fourth house. Macron's midheaven is on Trump's, I see once again the reversal of the midheaven, the MCIC axis, a very powerful connection from a career standpoint. Again, who's going to be in the lead? It's going to be like a seesaw. Macron's Neptune and Venus. And, of course, we're going to bring the Sun and Mercury into that as well. But particularly his Neptune, Venus sit on Trump's Moon South Node, inspiring him, triggering love of home and family. And I am going to include, even though it's a little wide here, Macron's Sun and Mercury. And so the family connection. Trump's family, yes. But the family, the emotional, the subliminal, familial connection between Trump and Macron. That's what's triggered here. But Macron's Sun Mercury is on Trump's fifth house, so they're once again having fun. Macron's ascendant on Trump's vertex reignites Trump's karmic role with children, with fun, with enjoyment. Now, Macron's South Node in Trump's eighth house of other people's money is not helpful from a standpoint of mutual finances. However, Macron's Moon in Trump's ninth house can expand Trump's thinking, his communication, and even his travels. So, that is a very, very simple interpretation of the comparison between these two leaders' charts. I hope you found it interesting. I think it's fascinating. And of course, we will see how it plays out in the coming months. So, again, if you would like your own printout of your own chart, if you would like a copy of any of the charts on the leaders I have reported on, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Let me know what you would like, and I will email you copies of those charts. Until then, and until next time, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.